Just bear with me. Homie should be here in a minute. What the hell happened? Running a little behind schedule. Should get started in a second. Should get started momentarily. My brother's a little late, but he should be here in any second. Bear with me, y'all. All right, give me a couple more minutes. So yeah, we starting now. We're gonna begin now. Light my candles. Let me set off the ambiance real quick. Let me get the mood right. So yes, we're going to be discussing comedy and depression. We have a comedian in the house who'll be here momentarily. My brother's a little behind schedule, but he'll be here in a second. In the meantime, we're just gonna light these candles. We're gonna set this vibe. We're gonna set this positive energy. We're supposed to start at 1, but he's running a couple minutes behind. But in the meantime, we just gonna lay down a solid foundation of what we doing here. And for anybody who watches this in the future, anybody who sees this later on, hopefully you guys enjoy this. We'll try to have some fun with this. I think this is going to be exciting. Should be exciting. I'm just waiting for him to hop on. He just sent me a message saying he's loading up now. He's loading in now. Just checking my mic. All right, my mic is working. Everything's working. Everything's recording. Okay. So just waiting for my bro to hop in. And we on. And let me just say peace to everybody who's showing up, everybody who's going to hear this in the future, everybody who's going to hear this live. You know, we try to put out content that look at things from a different perspective, try to give y'all something unique to look at, something unique to listen to. And I, you know, for the most part, talk about mental health and, you know, mindfulness and meditation and examining the reasons why a lot of us are feeling depression is rampant, anxiety is rampant, but a lot of us are trained to just keep going and ignore it. And the time has come for us to stop doing it. Time has come for us to stop ignoring how we feel and really start trying to change how we feel for the better. The old tricks don't work no more. Drinking don't work no more. Trust me, I done drank more than all of y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I done drank more than all of y'all. Drinking don't work. Can't beat depression. Can't beat depression with liquor. Can't beat depression with pills. Can't beat depression with weed. I know. I try all of it. I know people who try other stuff. I know people who try to beat it with cane and crack. Can't beat it with that. Can't beat it with that. Need a different strategy. We as Black folks in America, we've been trying to beat depression with intoxication for centuries, but we ain't won that fight yet. We ain't won that fight yet. Let me see what's up with this dude. This dude taking forever to hop on now. Bear with me one moment. Dude taking forever. He just told me he was hopping on. Bear with me. I just hit him up, saying what's up. Trying to get this space popping real quick. He said his computer slow. Let's do updating. Let's do updating. How you updating your computer now, man? Let's do updating this computer now. All right. Well, at least we know. At least we know he's on the computer, so we off to a good start. We off to a good start at least. But yeah, if you can get a chance, check out my first Twitter space where I covered this a little bit. I really wanted to do this one because I wanted to interview him because he's one of the funniest dudes I ever met, and he'll break it down real nice. Just waiting for my brother to show up though. But I appreciate him putting the time in to holler at me. Because I know the brother was busy. When I spoke to him, he said he was busy. He had some things going on. What up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My bad. I'm just getting everything situated and everything. My
No doubt.
bad. You know how the Instacart be? You be trying to you be trying to calculate it like, okay, it was like a $50 order. I was like, yo, I started like 9:30. I was like, I bang this out real quick. You go, you do the delivery, you do the order or whatever. Do you like, damn, the drop off like 25 minutes away?
That's what they get you. They got me one time with a 40-minute drop off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I already committed myself to it, and I needed the bread. So I was like,
right.
Can you hear me in the microphone pretty good?
Yeah, I hear you excellent, man. Yeah, you sound real clear. I'm just waiting for you to hop on Twitter because I'm in that Twitter space.
Yeah, let me do that too. I'm sorry. Let me do that on my because this is my laptop. I got my laptop, I got my phone, my main phone for my Facebook, and then I got my backup phone. I'm gonna use that for the Twitter space.
And I don't give a fuck about your logistics, man. Just get on this shit.
I'm trying to, man. It's all slow. But the laptop is the main thing that I use for matter of fact, you know what? Let me back out. I'm gonna use my main phone for the Twitter space.
All right.
Because my backup phone, I don't know what the hell going on with that. So I just ended Twitter, man. My bad for all this, man. I just miscalculated.
Got that Obama phone.
Yeah, we could talk though. I mean, we got one thing recorded. We could start talking. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course, no doubt.
Yeah, we could start. All right, so let me fire it. Okay. I didn't even know Twitter had this option, like of all things.
I just found out. I seen Tariq Nasheed did a few of them, so I was like, oh, let me try that.
Tariq Nasheed.
I thought this would be a dope conversation to have on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Let me put the camera on. I'm sorry. But you know that I ain't BS. Yeah, look at it. I'm clicking the camera button and it's not even doing that. What the heck?
Yo.
Work, turn on.
This shit got a virus, bro.
There we go. Man.
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, cooling, man. Cooling. Hold up here. It's a little fuzzy. Hold on. No, just the same old, man. Just trying to, in my 40s, still trying to make something out of myself, man. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
We all gray. Who said that? What rapper said I'm all gray and bearded with nose? Who said that? Oh, that was some Jazzo. That was some Jazzos.
Oh, okay.
That song, the love is gone. The love is gone. It was from his Kings County album, and it wasn't Jazz. It was somebody else that was rapping, but that was Jazz's album. All right. Okay. All right. So it loaded me on the Twitter. All right. Okay. Let me click the link now.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna see it.
This my Twitter fired up.
All right. So when you on Twitter, I'm gonna see you. I'll add you as a co-host.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. Now it's freezing up again. What the hell, man? What the heck is going on?
You in a bad spot?
Nah, I'm in a fine spot. It's just I'm in a decent spot, but when I try to do the live thing, it's just taking me right to Twitter. It's not taking me to the link that you sent me. It's just opening it. It's just opening up Twitter. Yeah, hold on. You the one that want to be all difficult and use the different technology that nobody use.
Everybody use this.
He's like, yo, let me use the wackest one. let me use the most trash one. We could have did this on IG. We could have did this on Facebook. We're doing it on Zoom, but nope. He want to do it on Twitter. He want to make it difficult.
We're trying to explore some new technology here.
No, I feel you. Like I'm trying to the app is available. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, it's not letting me do it, yo.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Every time I try to open it up, what it's doing is this is what it's doing. If you go, hold up, you can see. If you go, hold up, can you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
It keeps bringing up this screen, and then I push open to app, and it just takes me to my regular page.
All right, so go to your page and just search my page. Hop on this.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. So what's your name on there?
Just Devin McCrory.
All right. Here's.
Oh, McCrory Devin, one of those. I can't remember.
Okay. Ah, shit.
Can't find it.
Okay, no, I see it. So I'm following you right now.
Yep.
It just says
we on part 2. Go to Tears of Clown part 2.
Tears of Clown Part 2. It just says start listening though. I don't know if I could join.
Yeah, hop in, start listening. You'll be a listener, and then I'll see if I put you as a co-host.
Okay. Hold up. I got my letters because my eyesight getting bad, so my letters is zoomed in on my phone. So like everything's jumbled. It don't make no sense. This is terrible. This is the worst podcast. Yo, this how it be. If you watch a lot of podcasts, a lot of times, like a lot of them cats, they'll take a while to start up because of stuff like this. This ain't nothing like this isn't nothing that's like foreign territory or whatever. But
we seen that first verses. We seen that shit, so you already know.
All right. So now it says okay. I gotta turn the volume down on that. Because it's always gonna be a lag. So you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that down. So it claims I'm in. All right, so we both in now. So but I don't see that. So is there video on Twitter?
I sent you an invite to co-host.
You're invited to co-host. Accept the co-host invite. Please enable microphone permissions. Go to app info. Permissions. Yep. Camera. Allow. All right. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. And you put me on. You put me on to something. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. But I didn't know Twitter could do this. All right.
Yeah, me neither. All right. So you accepted the invite?
Yeah, I accepted it. So I'm hold up. I accepted it, but now I got to do like all these permissions.
Oh, okay.
Microphone allow. Bam. That's good. So microphone, camera, storage. All right, so that should be it. It should be good.
All right. All right. So let's see if we get this party started now. I see you there, but you're still as a listener. Okay, you're a co-host now. All right, bet. All right,
yeah, but for the Twitter, are you do you have video on Twitter or no?
No, this is just the audio.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool because I was looking for video. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn that down. Oh, you know what? I can't mute this mug. I can't mute this mofo, y'all.
Put in earplugs, earbuds.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do that.
Use that as.
I'm gonna plug. Yeah, I'm gonna plug in. I'm not gonna use it, but I'm gonna plug in earbuds. Hold on, one second.
Okay.
All right. You're gonna figure this mofo out, and the next time we do this, well, first of all, I'm gonna be on time, and it's gonna be more seamless. What the hell?
Yeah, that's all good. It's all part of the fun, baby.
Oh, here we go. All right. Damn.
Part of the fun, baby. It's all good.
This is complex.
So put the earbud in. I think you got to keep one in so the earbud can pick you up like a mic, right?
No, I'm good. I'm not worried about. You're hearing me from Zoom. That's the mic. That's what I'm using.
Right.
And I plugged the earbuds in for the Twitter right here, so there's no feedback and nothing like that. So now we good.
Oh, unmute yourself though. I still see your mic is muted as a co-host, so it won't be able to pick you up.
Well, I'm muted on Instagram.
Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Yeah.
I mean, Twitter.
Yeah.
There's a clown. Start listening. All right. Start listening. Yeah. I'm on it. Now, it is. I don't. Okay, the request. No, I guess I just sent you back a request or whatever, but it's not saying muted or nothing like that. It doesn't even have. Nah.
Yeah, so now when I was looking at it, it seemed like your mic was muted.
You hear me now?
When you talk, you see the thing moving, the sound thing moving.
Yeah. No. How about now? That's good. No, I never used this particular one before. So. All right. So now we Gucci.
Now we should be Gucci.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to talk about a couple things. You kind of do look like a light-skinned Denzel from Training Day. Okay. My man. Now I know you got a certain type of audience, so I will try to curb.
No. Let. That's the whole point. I got you here. I got you here so you can let it all. Don't curb shit. That's why I want to keep it all uncut.
So you know, I'm gonna keep it a professional. I know you be having like people that be meditating. They be like 8 years old and junk. You know, if I start dropping f-bombs,
Nah, because some of my content is not for kids. That's all. I just put it's not for kids. That's all.
Yo, it's not for kids, but kids still be having access to everything, man. Yo, imagine if we had the access to stuff that kids have nowadays. 25 years ago.
Oh my god.
Oh man. God. Oh man. Just the internet and just with comics, you know, comic books and using like different references to draw or write and stuff like that, man. If we had that type of information, man, bruh.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Game changer, man. Game changer.
Absolutely. All right. So yeah, so let's talk real quick. So what I want to talk about was, well, first of all, let me just introduce yourself to everybody. It's my man right here, a dude I knew since we met when we was 14.
Quick question. Can I get permission to record this on Zoom?
Oh, of course.
Myself? Because I like to cut it up and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you got to give me permission on the Zoom to do it though.
How the hell I do that?
It's I think you like participants or hold on. There's an option area where
allow participants
to record. It should be right there. You said this is called. I'm gonna use my other phone to record on Facebook. You said Tears of a Clown.
Tears of a Clown. Yeah.
Discussion with Devin. All right. Tears. You don't see it?
Nah.
I mean, worst case, I could just download it if you can't figure it out because we already took a lot of time. Getting started. Yeah. So worst case, just when you rebroadcast it, I'll just download it. That's no big deal. And I'll go. What I'll do is I'll go back into it, and later on I'll tell you how to do it because I can't. I don't see all the administrative shit from my end because you're the administrator right now. So
gotcha. Okay, no doubt.
We both some old dudes. We both some old dudes on the internet, man.
Hell yeah. All right, so this is my boy. He's my boy Quavo. He calls himself Mo Green. He's a comedian that been all over the damn country. Hasn't gone international yet. But he's been, California. He's been Maine, Vermont. Where else you been, bro?
I've been all right, just to flex real quick. I've been Los Angeles. I've been to San Francisco. I've been to Oakland. I've been to Great Falls, Montana. I've been to Memphis, Tennessee a couple of times. I've been to Raleigh, North Carolina. I've been all over New York City. I've been all over Mass. I've been to Maine, Rhode Island, Cape Cod. You know what I mean, man? So primarily northeast and like different spots in the West and in the Midwest. So pretty much all over it. Yeah, pretty much all over it. Yeah.
So one thing that made me think about doing this with you was the fact that you're one of the funniest people I ever met before. But also me and you have had some real deep conversations about and I know I've struggled with depression growing up for a long time based on trauma that I've been through. You talked to me about your struggles with depression. And I want to have a conversation about that because I realized a lot of really creative people and really funny people all seem to deal with that. And I wanted to understand why and talk about your personal experiences, if you don't mind. All right, what the fuck are you doing?
No, I'm listening to you. I'm setting stuff up. Okay. Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm just setting my Facebook. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah. So let's just start with something simple, man. Tell everybody how'd you become a comedian? How'd you get into that?
I mean, it's such a long story, but I've pretty much been a performer like my whole life. You know that. Right. Since we was kids, we used to draw comics. I've always had a sense of humor. Always been like the class clown type. Like the first time that I ever did any type of like quote unquote stand up, it was 8th grade at Nature's Classroom at Quirk Middle. And my boy Giovanni, because I used to always do impressions. When I was little, I used to always do impressions. Right. So he was like, "Yo, my boy Quinn, he funny, yo. Do some impressions in front of the whole group or whatever." And so that's what I did. I did like Mike Tyson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, blah 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 blah. And it was cool, but it's crazy. I look back, I was only like 14, But it's like if somebody would have saw that and you know what I mean, and saw that potential, I could be like Dave Chappelle because Dave started at 14.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So after that, for years me, you, Aunt, Jay, Muncher, we used to like do the comics, and then we used to be in rap groups and stuff like that. And I want to say like once I got to college, that's when I got the courage to actually sing in front of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I was in a whole different atmosphere. Nobody knew that I was a loser in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I could kind of reinvent myself. And I started just getting comfortable, and people like my singing and things of that nature. I really started writing poetry a lot. And like I said, I was always humorous. I used to always roast. You don't know I was like one of the roast kings back in the day and stuff like that. I don't want to be too long and overdrawn, but basically like I started getting hints like different like bits of information from like different people telling me how to do stand-up comedy. The first person that told me about a comedy contest, it's a comedy contest downtown Hartford at City Steam, write some jokes. At this time, I just wrote nothing but poetry, but my poetry was humorous. The person that told me this was Ant Williams. So I wrote a whole bunch of what I thought was jokes. I wrote like 8 pages worth of stuff, but it wasn't funny. It seemed like too talkative. And it just wasn't it. This is 2009. Right. You know what I mean? But so I sat on it. I never tried to perform it. Like whenever I would do poetry, like or open mic or whatever, I would throw like one joke out, but it just didn't really, I just wasn't comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? But basically, by 2000, at the end of 2013, like the winter of 2013, there's this dude named Ty Burston. He's from Hartford, right? We used to be in his roasters group on Facebook. And basically he took a comedy class, and he was showing like, I'm doing stand-up comedy now. And when I saw that, I said, oh, there's classes for this? What the heck? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I inboxed him and we got to talking, and he sat down with me. Like, he talked to me for like 3 hours and just give me like the basics of comedy, So I wrote my set out. Like, this is like the fall of 2013. I wrote out my set, but I still wasn't ready for it. And I read it out to him, and he was like, he was giving me some tips and pointers. And at the time, I had stage directed a play, and I did my set for the cast. You know what I'm saying? And it got some pretty good laughs. And matter of fact, you were part of the story too, because I did my set for them. And a couple days later, you were working on a film. Matter of fact, I still got the flyer right here called Redemption. Yep, I still got the flyer. You was working on this film, whatever. Matter of fact, because he was that boy Hawk. Hawk was one of the cast members. You know what I'm saying, of that particular play. But anyway, I did the set for them. They liked it, and then after them, when you were doing the casting for your that film Redemption, I performed it for y'all, and y'all liked the set. So basically, the cast and your cast, you know what I'm saying, y'all was like my first test group for stand-up comedy before I actually did it in front of an actual audience. So you are very integral with me doing stand-up, because you were one of my first actual audiences to actually see me do stand-up. So that's So that's how it all. It's actually like a lot more details, but I don't want to be too overdrawn. I'm already overdrawn as it is. But that's what started. Like, to make a long story short, I attempted a whole bunch of different types of arts, and I was never really focused on anything. I was okay at everything, jack of all, master of none. But comedy, comedy is one of those things where I can use elements of my poetry, of my singing, of my comedy, of my dancing, of everything. And I don't have to be serious about all these different things, but I can put it all together as a conglomerate. And then that's what we have now. So, in a roundabout way, that's how I got started. But you have a lot to do with that, though, big time.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. So let's talk about this. In all of your years of being a comic, what do you think is the most important lesson that you've learned, as far as like a lesson you took from doing comedy and from performing for people that you put into your personal life? Like, this is how I got to be in my personal life too. What'd you learn? Or were there any lessons like that?
I learned if you have like some type of success, or you have a type of a breakthrough, don't see that as the ending. Like, I figured I blew up. I had a great, I sold 1,000 tickets. I'm good. Or I made 1,000 people laugh. I'm good. The work, it never ends. You know what I'm saying? If I've learned anything, don't get overly excited with the success, and don't get too down with the failures.
Gotcha.
You understand? You're gonna have peaks and yeah, because like before, like when I started, I would figure out something. I would figure out like a major rule about comedy, like something like a crucial, a callback. A callback is basically you say a punchline and then later on you say that punchline again. And like people remember it makes them laugh.
Right.
And once I figured out, oh, I got to figure it out. I don't need to learn nothing else. I can just do a whole bunch of callbacks. But like, no, it's just there's.
Hold on 1 second. Let me cut you off.
Yeah. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my sons was over there. Had to check on them real quick. It was being too quiet. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, your mic is muted. I hear you through the Twitter, but
How about now? How about now? Good now?
Yeah, perfect.
My bad. Yeah, so if I have it's like certain successes to not just rest on that. And that's my mind. I've always been that way since I was young. I remember I used to work at Red Lobster. It'd be some certain days where I make $300 in tips in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't want to work like that much for the next few days or whatever. Whereas I should make 300 tomorrow, then another 300, then another 300. You know what I'm saying? It's instead of just having like a small amount of success and then feeling like, okay, I don't gotta push it as much. So that's the same thing that applies with comedy. Do I apply it in my life? I could apply it more, because I still have that. I don't know. I don't know. It's not laziness, but it's like, you work hard for something and then you accomplish it. You're like, I'm good. I'm just laying in this bed and not doing nothing else.
Right.
Nah, man, I should, that should fuel me to want more. You know what I'm saying? To want to achieve more. So that if I've learned anything, that's what I've learned from comedy. That is when you have breakthroughs, that's not the ending. That's just the beginning, or build off the breakthroughs as opposed to thinking that the work is done.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Now let me ask this question. As a comedian who's been around other comedians, worked with other comedians, seen other comedians, what's a personality trait that all of these comedians have in common?
Vanity.
Vanity?
Vain. Heck yeah. You got to be a vain individual to think that a whole bunch of strangers is going to like and appreciate what you like and appreciate your comedic worldview on things, and to make a living and make money. That there's a certain level of vanity, but a lot of comics have that. There's a lot of tension, a lot of jealousy. Like especially like if you've been doing comedy for a certain time and then somebody just gets started and they pass you. And I've been passed a lot of times, like a lot of the younger comics, a lot of it, and it's not even necessarily because they're more skilled. Sometimes it's just regional, it's just location. They just live like in New York or they live in LA. They just live around people like heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? Or some of them are more talented or whatever. So there's like a lot of angst. There's a lot of anxiety. They actually highlight that in the movie. Remember the movie Funny People? With Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen? Well, the beginning half is all about comics. The second half of the movie is like a love story. It's kind of corny. But the first half, when they hitting up mics and they sharing jokes and he's a writer for Adam Sandler and all that. And I think Seth Rogen got the writing job for Adam Sandler. But Adam also wanted Jonah Hill. But like Seth lied. It's like, nah, he's got his own thing. He ain't into that shit. So when Jonah heard that he got the writing job, Jonah Hill was like, why is this happening to me? You know what I'm saying? Like Jonah was pissed. But the crazy thing is, in that movie, Jonah got a writing deal for a TV show, or not a writing, but he got he was like a guest star in like the show about the kids, like the high schools or whatever. Right? So he already had a good gig, but he was still mad that his homeboy was writing for Adam Sandler. So that's what happens a lot in the comedy world. You'll have your gigs. Like sometimes I'll be watching cats, like, damn, this cat getting booked all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then I look at my calendar and I'm like, I got gigs too. Why am I worried about him? Why am I worried about his? Why am I worried about his burger when I got a pizza slice right in my hand? So there's a lot of there's a lot of envy in the comedy world because we all want to be the best. We all want to be superstars. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else get opportunities. We all gonna be jealous. Oh, I'm funnier to him than that person. Oh, because he live over here. Blah blah blah. So you find it's a lot of jealousy in the comedy game though. Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, gotcha. Now let's switch gears a little bit because I want to take this conversation from the comedy aspect to the aspect of struggling with depression. And I've, anybody who's seen my content know that I've struggled with depression a lot. I used to have panic attacks, and that's what got me into meditating and mindfulness heavy. Let's talk a little bit about your struggles with depression, if you don't mind. When did you first start feeling kind of like a sense of like depression and stuff, and start struggling with depression?
Oh, I've always been like depressed, man, since I was young, since I was a kid. Just moving, because I've been in Connecticut 32 years, but I moved here from suburbs of New Jersey, Pensacola. I used to live in the hood in New Jersey when I was real young, but I don't really remember it enough to be stressed out about it. But I moved from the suburbs in the early 90s in Jersey to like Hartford, Connecticut. And in the early 90s, gang wars, solely dose.
Everywhere.
20 Love, Killer G's. It was just nothing but gang wars. I used to get bullied and abused because I spoke properly. Like I literally dumbed myself down just so I wouldn't get bullied as much. Like when I started dumbing myself down, I started getting bullied less, believe it or not. So it wasn't until I met y'all, like when I met Anthony and you and Muncho, that I could kind of be myself, because we all was nerdy. We all had like that nerdy comedic comic mindset, which I think most children have. That it's just dysfunctional parents take that away from you. Right. You know what I'm saying? They demonize education and speaking proper and things of that nature. You're like, you should, you know what I'm saying? A kid bullying another kid just because they speak a certain way, that comes directly from the parents. That's not from other kids. That's something directly taught by their damn parents. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of the depression came from, and just, you know what I mean? I don't want to get too deep and too personal, but you know what I'm saying? Just older adults getting spankings and beatings for stupid reasons and things of that nature. You know what I mean? That's what caused like a lot of depression, and just like not really having like a consistent father figure, man. You know what I mean? Because what happens with that, when you're getting bullied, and I was the oldest kid, so when you're getting bullied and you never was really taught how to fight. You didn't know how to fight. You know what I mean? So when you're getting bullied, you have no. I got my mother. She ain't gonna be able to go out there and fight these battles for me. So I had never had any real major backup.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when things like us, we was all nerds. I mean, like if I was going through something, what could I really tell y'all? None of us was really fighters. You know what I'm saying? None of us was really in the street like that. So it's like whenever I had major issues, it's like I always felt like I was alone. You know what I'm saying? I felt like nobody could really help me and back me up and quell the situation. So that's why I developed humor. You know what I mean? And as I got older, that stuff kind of went away. I feel like a lot of children get bullied because they're the new kid. That's one of the drawbacks of being a parent and always moving your kids to different places. The kids are ruthless. So they're out there, they automatically gonna test and bully the new kid. But like once I moved to the South End and I got settled and I've been here for years, that stopped. But a lot of that depression was because I didn't have that backup to protect me, you know what I'm saying, or to lean on when other people, because it was never fair. You know what I'm saying? Whenever it was a bully, it was never a fair situation like one-on-one. It was always me against 30 people. Good thing I ran track. Good thing I was fast. Never got jumped. Always got away. It was like, yo, you was a punk. You was skate, man. I was like, yo, this shit. Like my mother used to always say, I'd rather be a scary chicken than a dead duck. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of that depression, it came from that in my early life. Now, like you want to keep going, like later life, the depression, like no, later life is just making poor decisions in general. Poor financial decisions, partying, drinking, and doing all these things, and just always being behind. Like I used to always make fun of people that stayed back in grade. Like if you stayed back in high school like a year, that was a sense of comedy for me. But now, you stayed back, you stayed back a year. But now that I'm 43 and I'm seeing like 25-year-olds pass me in life, That's like I stayed back 18 times in life. So that could be depressing too, when you see younger people like just starting to go past you, buying houses, getting married and having kids, and it's like I'm still stuck. Like for whatever reason, like I didn't really figure out how to really get the bag. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really figure out how to fully develop my body to a place that I'm really comfortable with, that people like. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really figure out how to like just have like a healthy, like sustaining relationship with somebody, you know, for like a consistent long time. You understand what I'm saying? So those things could, when you see people, and it ties in with the comedy thing. When you see people used to be the man, used to be dope, and then you see so many people passing your life, that can serve as a means of depression as well. You're looking at the bank account, 43, no major savings. You understand? I still got dream. I mean, I think literally something could change within 1 year where you could make $1 million in 1 year. So I still have that hope that once I finally find it, and once it catches on, you know what I'm saying, I'll be good. But the main source of depression now is just getting older. Like even with my ex-girl, I used to always tell her, because she was younger, she's 29 and I'm 42. And I'll be like, yo, if we have a kid, let's say 18 years, I'll be 60. You know what I'm saying? So that was always like a running joke. So my thing is like, the time is running out. I gotta set myself up. Maybe I'm not gonna be this big superstar. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not gonna happen. Who knows? But at least I can get some good life insurance. So when I pass away, like, you know what I'm saying, like my nephews will be taken care of. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you could do all the wrong things in life, but if you got good life insurance and somebody get broken off with 100K, that's what they gonna remember. They ain't gonna remember nothing else.
Yeah. It was a good dude, yo.
Yeah, yo, he's a good dude. He left us 100 racks, man. You could be Charlie Manson, man. You leave a
no matter what happened.
You got a good life insurance policy. That's all they gonna remember. So, you know, that's a means of depression too. You know, just trying to get my life in order, finances in order. It's just, it feel like it's so many things that I have to do to get in order to make this right. But it's like I look at successful people, and they did all those things. They, you know, whether it's paying their bills. Well, I say, you know, you always, like, if you want to be successful in life, you always got to make phone calls, and you always got to read applications or read papers and fill out documents. You have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, so let me ask this question.
yeah.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the depression that came first, and the comedy came from the depression, or were you funny and then, you know, you were funny and then the depression came afterward?
Say it again.
All right, so was it you were a depressed person first, or going through depression first, and then you developed comedy in order to help cope with the depression or cope with the tough times, or were you funny first and then depression came later?
Oh, I was always funny. I was funny first. I think that depression came after.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like like I used to get migraine headaches when I was 10. Like it was a major culture shock to move from the suburbs to hood ass Hartford and just being around hood negative people. So that around when I was 10, that's when it really started, like around then. But I always had like a sense of humor. I've always been humorous, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So I guess the egg, I don't know. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So do you feel like the depression is like a part of the comedy at times? Does it provide inspiration at times, or do you feel like these two totally separate entities?
Is the depression a part? I think the depression can help fuel it. It fuels it. Like comedy comes from a dark place, man. You know what I'm saying? It's people. They take a real negative situation and they spin a comedic light to it. Like I always say, comedians were like coal miners. You know what I'm saying? When you go into the you know what I'm saying, or diamond miners, you go into the mines and you mine diamonds. Yes, you're getting beautiful these beautiful stones, but when you come out, you're covered in soot. You got the soot in your lungs, but you're presenting something beautiful to the world that they love. But you sacrifice yourself for it, and that's the thing. That's the thing with stand-up comedy, is that we are constantly looking at negative news and negative things and trying to spin it like into a positive light. So I'm like there's comics like I want to say Jim Gaffigan or like Jerry Seinfeld, they'll just do like observations. What's the deal with socks? Socks are like it's like shoes without the soles at the bottom. What's going on? And like that stuff, that type of it doesn't do it for me. You understand what I'm saying? But the majority of comedy, besides observational things like that, it comes from something negative and it's spinning a positive or a humorous light on it. And usually by doing that, it just comedy, like we're like Marines. We're like some of the first individuals in the front lines of major social things, because we'll make a joke about it and then people will start talking about it. Like the Maya Angelou situation. Maya Angelou's on the back of the quarter, right? They're putting her on the back of the quarter, and George Washington is on the front. And then I also heard that Maya Angelou, before she became famous, she used to be a prostitute. And I was like, yo, that's kind of crazy, because even at her death, there's a white guy that's still on top of her. You know what I'm saying? So you take you're taking like a humorous observation. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy JP Justice on Facebook, he said the symbol in comedy is the symbol is comedy and tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like the smiley face and the sad face. I mean, you can't tell no Soli Ghost that. They think that means silence.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, well, how does silence take comedy and drama and how did that become the symbol?
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess somebody,
that's straight theater. So what y'all saying, y'all actors and y'all bullshit?
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, what was the question? Because I'm kind of getting off.
No, you going.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, comedy does come from tragic things. No, it definitely, not all comedy, but a big majority of it does. Something negative, something bad. Like I talk about my diabetes. I talk about ex-girlfriends breaking up with me, you know what I mean? I talk about all of it because it's like that, okay, I figured out the tie-in. That's what helps out the depression. Because you're depressed and you're all wallowing and stuff like that. But then we make a joke about it, and then you see other people laugh. The other people are laughing because they could relate to it. So then what it does is it makes you realize I'm not the only person that's going through it. Like when I was young and I felt like I was all by myself and I had no backing and I was a little ass kid, I probably, if I didn't know, but if I had the right direction, there probably was people in my life that and people did help me. Don't get it twisted like I was by myself. There was people that helped in situations, but when you realize that you're not alone with whatever it is that you're going through, you can relate and talk to people about their experiences. I think that's what helps with depression.
Right.
When you realize you're not the only individual that got to file for bankruptcy. You're not the only individual, you know what I'm saying, that probably did a bid when you was younger with some dumb stuff. You're not the only individual whose girlfriend broke up with him and then moved on like 2 days later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saying chick break up with you, you know what I'm saying? Chick broke up with me like a week later. I saw her, man. I found out she done got married. She done had 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? Within that same 2 weeks, she done gave birth to 2 kids. Both of the kids is in college. I was like, God damn, this woman move on fast. Like, you get what I'm saying? So that's what comedy does, man.
So in a way, you kind of like comedy is kind of almost like therapy in a sense, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely therapy, because I feel like a lot of times, like, we go through what we go through, and this is therapy too, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? But just talking to somebody about it on a public platform. But a lot of times, you're going through something, and sometimes you just got to talk about it, but not just like in your head, like physically talk out. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody else hear like whatever it is that you're saying. You know what I mean? And then it creates a synergy, and sometimes you just need somebody just to kind of listen to you. But when you keep it like trapped in your own head, it sounds different than when you speak it out into the world. You know what I'm saying? You can actually hear it, or you watch it on watch yourself talking on a video, and then you think, you know what? This ain't that bad. You know what I mean? You know what? But sometimes you just need a little bit of motivation. Like, you may have a mountain of things that you have to do to get right. Like, say if you're morbidly obese, you got to start eating better, jogging, working out, stretching, blah, 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 blah. A whole bunch of things. It's going to take you 3 or 4 years to do it. But when you talk and you verbalize it, at least you can start. Right. Even if you start by using like a smaller plate to eat with. That's one way I lost weight. You know what I'm saying? In the house here, we always use paper plates. But we used to always use the giant, like the 15-inch plates or whatever it is. Now we use the 8 inches, like the smaller plates. And because, Black people, we teach our kids some of the worst, like especially Southern Blacks teach our children some of the worst things ever. Finish everything on that plate. But what if the kid is full? Right. You shouldn't, and you shouldn't, if you eating and then your stomach start to hurt after you done ate too much. But we was conditioned that way. So something as simple as a smaller plate, you still finishing everything on that plate, but you ain't overstuffing yourself. So just little, like it's all about little, small, gradual changes and building off of that. And I think with the comedy, I'll be joking about, like, I'll joke about my ex. My ex moved on kind of quick, blah blah blah, whatever. But mad people just laughing on it. People could relate off of it. I'm getting paid off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some chick in the audience might love that joke. I got myself a whole new girl, just, you know what I'm saying? Just from some small little joke that I made based on my ex experience. You know what I'm saying? So,
Gotcha. So let me ask this question too, because I was thinking about a lot of artists that passed away. I mean, we grew up in the same era. We was both two kids in the hood listening to alternative rock. So Kurt Cobain died. Chris Cornell died. Lane Staley died. Scott Weiland from STP died.
I ain't gonna lie. When Scott Weiland died, that actually made me cry.
Yo, that shit hurt.
Kurt Cobain, we was too young. We didn't really appreciate. Like, we liked it, but Scott Weiland, that was our guy, man. That was we was STP. Man. I think you was more Pearl Jam, but I was big STP, man.
Yeah. I was more Pearl Jam, but I still love STP. I bought their albums and everything. I bought all their albums.
Oh my God. It ever made my eyes water just thinking about it now, man. Like,
I was messed up when Chris Cornell died. When
Chris Cornell,
when he died, I was like, oh, that's
cool. Didn't he murked himself too, didn't he?
I believe so. But that's my question. Also, I was thinking about that brother Capital Steez, that rapper Capital Steez. Holmes was dope. He committed suicide at 19 and stuff. So I was thinking about how so many really talented individuals lost their lives, took their own lives because of depression, or they overdosed because they were depressed trying to deal with it. Do you feel that artists, particularly comedians, do you think that y'all more sensitive than other people when things hit y'all harder, or is it just
extremely sensitive? Yo, comedians are extremely sensitive. I hate when people like, oh, you a comic, you sensitive. First of all, every human being is sensitive. Like, unless we board the Borg from Star Trek, or we like Spock, Vulcans, we all have a level of some more extreme than others. But that just comes with the territory. If you're always looking at different situations, looking at different crazy things that happen in the world, crazy news stories, and trying to flip it into something that's funny to make people laugh, that's a level of sensitivity. And you want people to laugh. That's what you want. So if you put out a joke and they don't laugh, that hurts, man. That's not a good fit for anybody. I don't care. I don't care if they laugh or not. Yes, you do care, because if you didn't care, you wouldn't do it at all. I mean, if you care, you do care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
If you didn't care what people thought, you wouldn't do what you do. So we're all sensitive, and there's nothing wrong with being when did like showing sensitivity and vulnerability become something that's demonized? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, no, there's not. I mean, yeah, there's extremes. Like, if you want some Real Housewives of Atlanta and you fighting and getting mad and wanting to beef, there's levels to it. But like this whole like, yo, you're sensitive. That's not, oh yeah, thank you, I'm human. That's basically synonymous with saying that I'm a human being. You know what I mean?
Right. Crazy. So what's the difference between the way a regular person experience and the regular a comedian might experience? Like, as far as your
because we always think that like regular people. All right, I'm gonna say it like this, because you're not a comic, but you're esoteric though. Like the way your mind, you're clairvoyant. So you might see something happen and you'll think something funny, but you just like whatever. Like the thought, it's just like it might come into your head and pop out.
Right.
When I think of something funny, hold on, and I want to give you a visual example.
Okay.
When I think of something funny, like when something pops in my head, my philosophy is funny is money. So every time something funny happens, I make somebody laugh, a Facebook status or what have you, I always record the data.
Okay.
I'll write it down. If you look at my phone right here, I don't know if you can see because of the light or whatever.
No, I can't see it that good.
No, you can't see it. But anyway, it says jokes, and it says 1,182. And that's just this phone alone. Now there it might be a full joke, it might be a punchline, you know what I'm saying? It might be a tag. A tag is just basically a punchline on top of punchline. It might be a callback, that's just repeating a punchline from earlier in the joke. Now it might be just a basic premise, like a basic idea. Like let me just read some. odd animal friends, a dog and a lion. I want to see odd human friends, like a scientist and a crackhead, like something like that. That's just a premise. Well, I said when I reach 99, I don't want to watch the interview of Betty White giving tips on how to live till she's 100. Because she died at 99. Or it's you know what I'm saying, something like that. I say Maya Angelou, yep, the quarter joke right here. Oh, I said, you know how people got this whole I identify as a female, even though you're clearly a male, whatever. I said, what if we start doing that with animals? Like my dog identifies as a woman. Even though it's a boy, my dog identifies as a woman. His pronoun is bitch. So like stuff like that. Yeah. And I never did that on stage. Like, but I just constantly write. So that's how a comedian thinks differently than a regular person, a civilian, as we call it, like yourself. Because you don't see the monetary value or the potential of adding something to your artwork that was funny. It's just a passing thought. It's casual to you. Whereas it's a business for me. Every time I see something that's funny, I'm like, yo, that's something that somebody going to appreciate. Something that's something that I can monetize. You know, so that's the difference between a comedian and a regular person. Funny is money. Funny is just whatever for y'all. But for us, funny is money. And we record, well, the good comedians anyway. Anytime something's funny, constantly writing. I do it on my phone because I lose pads. I won't lose this. You know what I'm saying? Notebooks and stuff I always leave, and this I'm never gonna leave it. So that's that's a difference.
Okay, but even before that, because even before you knew that you could monetize your jokes, there was still something different in how you thought than how I thought. We both was running around young dudes, wacky, but I never would thought to myself I could be a comedian. There's something in how you think that's different from how I think. What do you think that is fundamentally? Because I don't know, like you always been a showman. You always been funny as hell. You always been a dude who's comfortable with networking and center of attention. What exactly is it that make you? Because not everybody can do what you do, and not everybody would even think to try to do what you do.
Vanity. Because I'm vain. I like showing off. I like being the center of attention. I like making people happy. That's what it is. I like being silly. I like joking around. You know what I'm saying? But I always thought you had potential to be a comic. If you wanted to, if you really, really want, because at one point, you know how like in Living Color, it was always like every other year, a different actor was the funniest. Like one year Jim Carrey was, one year Tommy Davidson was. David Alan Grier was always the second funniest every time.
Right, no matter what.
And he always was the second funniest one. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You have potential. Anthony was funny. Even Munch will have funny moments. Jemiah, we all have that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like with me, I think the main thing that made me realize I could be a comic, when I used to do spoken word poetry, my poems used to always get laughs, but I was speaking rapid fire. Like, you know, I'm speaking rapid fire. So that's not comedy. That's poetry. That's prose. That's just speaking. But I used to, I would get applause breaks and you did good, brother. You did a great job. But the when I would see people laugh, that stirs something different inside of me. Yeah, I like the claps. I like the applause. But I like, that was yo, you know, black people always gotta be hard even when they compliment you. Yo, good shit, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, we about to fight, or you can compliment me? Like, what's going on? like why niggas always gotta be hard, man? Like, even yo, that shit, yo, right there. I'm like, yo, why can't it be like, yo, that was a good job? And always go like, yo, you did real good, my nigga. Like, for real, like, punch me in my face and shit. Like, yo, why you punch me in the face? Yo, that's how we give dap. That's because we give dap like that in Harlem. Yo, you do something good, yo, we punch you in your grill, nigga. I'm like, all right, man. Yo. Once when I was getting them labs, like 2012, 2013 for my poems, I'm like, yo, I want more of this.
Okay.
This is what I want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what's the difference between, like, because you've been through a lot of different worlds. You we was doing comic books when we was young.
Yeah.
You did the spoken word thing.
Yep.
You did the
singing, rapping.
Yeah, rapping. Yeah, all that singing. Yeah. What's the difference between, like, because I remember you doing comedy and poetry the longest. What's the difference between those two worlds? Like, what are the people like in the poetry world, and how are they now that you're in the comedy world?
I'm gonna get in trouble, but
yeah, let it out.
In the
But of
poetry
course, you're
world,
gonna have more freaks.
and it's a lot of assholes in comedy too. Trust me.
Okay.
In the poetry world, it's just this hypocrisy, like religious undertone. I'm holier than thou, and I'm trying to save the entire world. And I got so much. I was, not to be too graphic, but when I was a poet, I got way more buns as a poet than as a comedian. Comedians sometimes, but when my poetry, when I was and I was younger too. I started as a poet when I was like 27. So
Right.
27 Mo Green, 27 Quinn looked way different than 43-year-old Quinn. You know what I'm saying? So and I was a lot more thirsty.
Yeah, the dapper hat used to wear like the sweater.
Yeah, I used to be smooth.
Yeah.
I was mad smooth. So, I used to kill it back then. But he said the difference that there's like this religious judgmental, and it's very judgmental in comedy too. But we still some jokesters we're still trying to have a good time. Mm-hmm. Even though they're assholes in comedy, and a lot of people that I would never deal with. But overall, ultimately, we're still having a good time. Whereas in poetry, they're trying to save the world. Right. But it's phony though. You're trying to save the world. You're trying to come at me because I'm smashing chicks and doing my thing. Come to find out, you doing the same thing. You're just not on Front Street about it as I am. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of judgmental religious overtones. And me and you coming out of a Jehovah's Witness background. Yeah, if anything has like a kind of like a religious connotation to it and a condescending religious connotation to it, I automatically have an aversion to it. Like I could just. It just reminds me too much of religion, So there's other reasons, but mainly that religious. I'm holier than thou. I'm better than you because I'm doing poetry. It's like, excuse me, what fucking poet ever saved anything? Like if you're like, it's dope. It feels good, but what poet really, really, really like changed the world like that on like a grand scale? Yeah, they may have inspired people, like whatever. But it's like. They're not really doing nothing like that major, great, or grandiose of like completely change. Or they help, they aid in things. Mm-hmm. There's some benefit to it, but like some of these cats, you would think they was like in the Peace Corps, like in the front line, like pulling like dead babies out of wells. No, they just getting high.
They that dramatic?
Yeah, hell yeah. And they hated me because I was good. Because at the open mics, I used to only sing. Or rap. That's what I used to always sing at open mics. And then this cat I used to run with back in the day, he challenged me. He's like, yo, try to write some poems. And I used to always write poems. I just never performed. So one night I wrote, and I started doing it. And I was smashing people immediately. And I was very cocky about it. And they hated that. And I was bagging broads. Yeah. Beautiful for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So excuse me, and they hated me for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like the person that brought me into the poetry world and challenged me to do poems. He basically, nobody in the community really rocked with him like that. And because he and I were friends by proxy, a lot of people in the comedy world didn't mess with me because I was associated with him. Mm-hmm. Once he and I had a falling out, it's like I was only in this world because you kind of brought me in this world, that poetry world. So I wasn't really running with him. And I didn't really see the point in me even being a part of it no more. But even after he and I, quote unquote, broke up as friends, there was another kid named my boy T, Infinity. Dope ass poet. Me and him started running together. And at the time I was jogging, running every single day. Me and him, we both was like in real good shape. He was a vegan, and we used to do the poetry thing, and we used to smash mics everywhere. Mm-hmm. He moved. And then once he moved, I never had that poetry, like that combo, like that compadre anymore. So it's just like, I didn't really want to do it by myself no more. I was already turned up by the religious undertones. The cat that brought me into the world, we wasn't friends no more. So it's just like, I got away from it, yo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in a comedy world, how are people? Like, what's the difference? Like in the poetry world, we had everybody be a holier than thou, hypocritical. In the comedy world, what's everybody like?
A lot of douchebags, a lot of assholes. You know what I'm saying? Just people just constantly trying to be funny. Now, if you are funny, you don't got to try it. It'll just happen. But the annoying thing, especially, and I was the same way. When you got a new comic called newbies. When you got a noob, they always want to, yo, check this joke out. Like, here it is. Like, instead of like just talking normal in conversation, like, and like the jokes organically happening, they always like, yo, I want to try this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, and if you're my friend and you call me up and you want to run a joke by me, that's good. But if I just met you and you trying to run shit by me, you knew you ass and you got like, get out my face, man. Like, I don't. You stink. But the thing is, I always try to give advice. And some people say it's unsolicited, whatever. But you know what? Yes, I had mentors and people that helped me out, but I had a lot of quote unquote OGs that alienated me, shitted on me, had nothing like because I brought the cocky comedy attitude to the poetry game. I mean, I brought the cocky poetry attitude into the comedy game. And a cocky new comic is a fucking turn on, especially if you're not that funny. So I understand like my hand in turning off a lot of people in this game, but a lot of new comics they pretty much do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So cocky new assholes, and then what happens is once you've been doing it 5 years and you think you should be getting certain opportunities and it's not happening, you get a little bit bitter and you get a little bit salty, you get a little bit jaded. So it's a lot of salty, bitter, jaded mofos in this comedy game because they look at people that are more successful and they think, I'm funnier than Dave Chappelle. I should be in this position. I should do this. But what Trump's ability and skill is the work ethic, man. Just putting yourself out there.
Right.
Newer comics, a lot of cocky people that don't know what the hell is going on, and they're annoying. And when you're intermediate, just a lot of jaded, depressed individuals wishing that they are thinking that they deserve to be in positions where people who work harder than them or people who are just in the right place in the right time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Having opportunities like more than.
Gotcha. So how have you changed over the years? You said when you first come in, you're cocky, and then over a while you like wisen up. Did you wisen up, and how have you changed?
I'm just more subdued. I let people give me credit more than me put myself out there. Yo, look how good I did. I just like, no matter how good I do on a show, you'll never hear me say I killed it. I like to say I got busy. I just say I got busy. That's more ambiguous, you know what I'm saying? But I let other people say it because I may have think I killed it. Other people don't think so. Right. So I let other people say it for me. When I reach comedic breakthroughs, like we spoke about earlier, I don't feel like the work is done. Now my attitude is, damn, I figured that out. What else is out there? Right. This comedian's 34, like Ari Spears, 34 years in the game. He's like, man, it's like I'm still trying to find my voice. I'm still figuring things out. You know, to this day, I'm 30 years in the game and I'm still figuring things out. You know, that Ari Spears impression is fire. I don't care what nobody says. He's an impressionist, and I'm doing an impression of an impressionist. But it's funny. It's funny that Ari Spears like, I'm 30 years in the game, and I still don't know my voice. And I'm like, maybe because you do too many goddamn impressions. That's why you don't know your own voice. Nah, but Ari Spears, sidebar. When I saw him perform on stage, he did a few, not that many impressions. That was one of the best stand-ups I've ever seen from any comedian in my entire life. Anybody. It was phenomenal. Him and Tony Baker. Phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But yo, it's just now, like to bring it back, like I said, when I have those breakthroughs, what else can I learn? It's people 30, 40 years in the game still feel like they're still learning. I'm only 8 years in the game. Right. So if they 30 and they can still learn, I can still learn too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get too comfortable with the small successes that I have anymore. I'm like, what else is out there? So I think that's how my attitude changed. Even though I'm talking a lot right now, I give a lot of advice, but I don't talk as much. I used to trash comics. Like I don't like famous comics. So like I don't like I'm not a big, I mean, we'll talk about it here, but just as a hypothetical or whatever, or an example. But I'm not a great fan of Jerry Seinfeld. But I'm not gonna. But I still respect his craft and his game. Like before, I'd be like, "Oh, this comic trash. This comic's this. This comic's that." I never trash comedians no more. Even like if I think you trash, even in real life, it's like I think it's easy to just dismiss somebody and say they're garbage. But if you're really skilled as a comedian, how could you look at that comic, right? But he's trash. How can I improve it? How can I make that comic better? Because you trying to figure out that puzzle actually improves you as a comic. So that's the new angle that I take now. Like when I watch Jerry don't really make me laugh, but why is he so successful? Why do people rock with it so much? How can I Yeah, super successful. So how can I harness some of that into my, even though, yeah, it doesn't make me laugh, it's entertaining, like it's interesting to watch. But how can I harness that? So instead of trashy comics, I try to look at the good in them. Like, okay, yo, this dude, he don't got no jokes. He sucks, he's hack, but his stage presence is crazy.
Mhm.
But he doesn't talk that fast. People can understand everything that he's saying. So he don't got jokes, but he still has all these other tools that could be used. All he needs is jokes. He's a lot further than a lot of these comics that got jokes, but they scared as hell. They still saying, they still looking up when they talk. You know, they're not engaging the audience. This individual that they say is trash got all those tools, or he has a specific way of talking. And I sound like that. This dude is a character, even though he don't got jokes.
Yeah.
So it's like I have the ability now to compartmentalize the good in individuals. Even if everybody thinks they trash, I can still see something that's good, and we could build off of that. So that's how I've changed. Whereas before I'd be, oh, he trash, he whack. Before I was like a lot more dismissive. Now I'm a lot more understanding. You know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha. So what words of advice would you give for another young comedian when they come into the game, a sensitive person, a person who may have struggled with depression, and a person who's going to go into this gauntlet of entertainment, whether it be comedy or music or whatever? What advice would you give them to protect themselves and protect their mental health?
Well, first of all, mental health. One thing I realized, my uncle taught me this. You know what I'm saying? My uncle Bobby. You know, he was away for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Did 20 years, got out, or whatever. And we got to building and stuff like that. He said feelings are temporary. Always remember that, whether it's a good feeling or bad feeling. So even if you're going through like some type of depression, something like that, and it may seem like something that's endless, it may seem like something that's eternal. Always remind yourself that it's temporary. You know what I'm saying? That it will end. You know what I'm saying? Like now, some people preemptively ended themselves by ending their life, and that's very unfortunate. But if you don't do that, realize you're not gonna always feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And when you're feeling good too, that's the same. Yo, this is good. We feeling good. We riding high. But you know, you're gonna feel some pain. You're gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Just always remind yourself you're gonna have these ebbs and flows. You're gonna have these peaks and valleys. You know what I'm saying? To be conscious and cognizant. And when that depression starts happening, honestly, and this is something I always tell myself, and I never really follow it, but I understand the logic of it. The best time to do something that's good for you is when you don't feel like doing it. That's the best, because anybody could do something when you feel like doing it.
Right.
But you build the resistance and the resilience when you don't feel like doing it. So when you go through some type of depression, when you feel down, when you feel sad, actually look at that as a blessing, because that's the state that you need to be in to optimize whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because like I said, anybody could do something when you feel like doing it. When you don't feel like when you're lifting weights, it's easy. Like you're doing you know what I'm saying? What's that?
Bench press.
Bench press. I'm getting old. I'm fucking forgetting words, dementia, kicking it. You're doing a bench press. This don't make you stronger. When you're doing this, when you don't feel like doing it, that's what makes you strong. That when your muscles start to break down, when you go to the point of failure, but you still push on for those couple extra seconds or those couple extra reps, that's what makes you stronger with physical. But the same thing applies with mental. Anybody could, like I said, I keep repeating it because it's important. Anybody could do something when they feel like doing it. The best time to do it is when you don't want to do it, man. When it's something that's good for you. Obviously, if it's something bad for you, you don't want to do it, obviously don't do it. But it was something is, you know what I'm saying? Simple as like, yo, you know, I want to get my cardio up. I want to walk around the block. Damn, I don't even feel like doing it. Then you take that nice little brisk walk, like, yo, I'm kind of glad I did that because I feel way better. You know how many times like I didn't feel like going to an open mic and doing comedy? Happens all the time. Then I get on stage. Yeah, all the time. I want to quit, Devin. I want to quit all the time now. But I'm so vested in it. And now people see me and they have an expectancy. Right. So now it's like, not only am I living for myself, but I have to live up to this expectancy that I've created with other individuals. That's another thing. That's another technique. If you're not going to do it for yourself, put yourself in a position where you have to do it for other people. Doesn't matter why you do it. What matters is that it gets done. Right. So who cares about the motive? The matter is that it gets done. So it's like, okay, if I don't love myself enough, but I love other people, I'm gonna start doing it for other people, and then like working out, getting in shape, and then, you know what? I start loving myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like doing it. Me wasn't a motivation enough, but there's still a motive. There's all different types of motivations out there, man.
Mhm.
You don't only have to like only do something because you love you and you want to do it for yourself. If that doesn't work for you, use somebody else. It could be for the love of your pet, the love of a dog, proving somebody wrong, whatever. The point is but it has to be something positive that you're doing, like, because you can use negative motivation to hop in the plane and blow up the towers too. They was all motivated in a weird way too. But I'm saying, like, you know, the premise as far as it being something that's positive for you.
Right.
Right?
So let me ask this question.
Huh?
And in your years of doing the comedy thing, what was your highest high and what was the lowest low? How did you get to the highest high and how did you get through the lowest low?
Give me. My highest high and my lowest low that I could think of offhand was within the same week, 2015. Yeah, 2015, right? It was a week before Valentine's Day. You know the singer Dwele.
Yep.
You know Dwele. Or for those that don't know, he sang the hook on Kanye West. As you recall, I know you love to show off. You know, flashing lights. But anyway, Dwele was doing a concert in New Haven. But he was doing it was a comedy show first and then a concert after. It was this cat named Vinny Beadle that asked me to do a guest spot, you know, to open up, because there was another talent. He was a comic named Talent the Comedian. He's from New York. I don't know if you know who Talent is, but he's like the real tall dude. Always got a Heineken in his hand. He every time he do a punchline, he go, you know what I'm saying? Like he has this. He's one of the New York kings of comedy. But anyway, he was late, so I did my thing. I crushed. I was only like a year in the comedy. Destroyed it. They was loving me. I was dirty as hell. They was loving me. And then after that, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a high. I'm loving what I did. After that, Dwele did a concert, right? But Dwele is still kind of underground R&B. So a lot of people didn't know his songs. I knew everything. I was in the front row, saying everything. I was just wilding. Dwele passes me the mic, lets me sing while he dancing with a chick. So because he realized I know his shit. Like I'm really, so I'm singing. Then I'm hitting high notes because Dwele's not a great singer. He's a good singer. He's not a great singer. So I'm hitting a high note. I'm doing stuff that he can't do. He doesn't do.
Okay.
I said, oh, hell no. Home grab the mic back. So that was great. I was on top of the world. I said, yo, I figured out comedy. I'm a beast. You know what I'm saying? Dwele feeling me, all these chicks. Like, yo, spectacular. Very next week, it was at a poetry event. But I did comedy. My boy D Moss out in Springfield. It was Valentine's Day. So I'm doing my thing. There was music being played in the background, like real kind of low, but it was throwing me off my game. So I'm trying to tell my jokes. And then I broke characters like, yo, cause somebody, I wasn't even being funny. It's like, yo, cause somebody turn the music off, this kind of messing up my set. Whereas now I'll make a joke like, yo, damn, niggas got the music playing while I'm trying to do these jokes. It's crazy, man. Yo, I thought it was God talking to me. Like, there's a whole bunch of ways I could do it now. But anyway, when I broke character and I was acting serious and it wasn't funny or whatever, like the crowd just wasn't feeling me. When they give you the light, that means you got like a minute left. I think I had like 10 minutes. After 4 minutes, they was giving me the light, like, yo, it's time to wrap it up, get the hell out of here. It was just bad. My boy Keys, like, you know, Keys recorded it for me. And I don't think I ever watched that tape. That tape was somewhere. I was just like, so it was just so low because legit the week before, I thought I had it all figured out, but it was just circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? Like with comics, like, yes, we got circumstances where the audience is gonna be there and have a good time, and it's pretty much easy, like a comedy club. But then you got like a dive bar or a poetry event where they're not expecting comedy, and I'm not that good at comedy, and it just crushed my soul. Whereas now I could take myself back to that situation, and I got the tools to kind of figure that out. But that was my highest high. Dwele passing me the mic after having a great night of comedy, to my lowest of low at a poetry event, just getting no laughs and just, you know what I'm saying? Never got booed. And another similar low, I was at Mocha's in Harlem in 2018. And Monday nights, Smokey Suarez hosts it. Basically, what happens is you do your comedy thing, right? And if the audience doesn't like you, they don't boo you. They shake the keys at you. They shake their keys at you. And it was this heckler in the front, and I I was doing okay, but he was trying to heckle me. And I had this one thing, like if people start talking while I don't do it more. But if people start talking while I'm doing comedy, it's like, yo, all y'all talking because y'all went to the clinic today, y'all realize y'all had AIDS. So y'all want to talk about the fact that y'all got AIDS. So if you don't, yeah. So I said, so if you don't have AIDS, you ain't talking right now. If y'all talking, you already know, I know y'all status. It usually works, didn't work that night.
Yeah, that sounds crazy as hell.
They all was shaking the keys like it sounded like Christmas. It sounded like sleigh bells, sleigh bells. It was so that was a low point too in my life. But like a year later, I came back and I bodied it. And when I killed it at Mocha's, there was this guy named Ray DeJean. Ray DeJean, he owns this club in the Lindenwood Diner in Brooklyn, where they shoot this show called Laughaholics. Laughaholics is on Brick TV. Ray DeJean was at Mocha's that night that I killed it. You know what I'm saying? So out of 25 comedians, he picked 6 people to be on Brick TV, and he picked me. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of my highs that night. So one of my lows was at Mocha's the 2 years before, and then one of my highs. So I got a couple of highs and lows, but they're you know what I'm saying? It's kind of similar circumstances though.
Right.
Yep.
Man, yeah, you got an interesting ass story, man.
Mm-hmm.
You've been through a lot of shit. But I'm on to wrap it up.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, man, but thank you for the interview, my brother.
Yeah, man. I apologize for the tardiness. I was trying to.
That's all good.
I was trying to chase the bag. You know what I'm saying? And
I just gotta do.
Yeah, you know, but I stayed in contact. You know, some people they'll just be late and don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Like at least I corresponded with you like the whole time, like letting you know what was going on and stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. No doubt,
I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope I answered some questions.
No.
You know what I mean? I always feel like I always feel like I'm saying a lot. It's weird because I feel like I'm saying a lot, but then I feel like I didn't say enough. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. Now, what you did, that's why I want to interview you, because I knew you was going to do exactly what I need you to do. Let it all out, what you always do.
No, I appreciate it, man.
No doubt, family. So I'm gonna holler at you on another occasion. Let's do another one of these, man.
Yeah, yo. If y'all want to find me on my social medias, everything is comedian Mo Green. Just one word. Whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they're all the same thing. Just comedian Mo Green, and my hashtag is Everybody Need Mo Green. That's MOGREEN. If you type that in Google, Everybody Need Mo Green, you'll see thousands of things because I always post. You know this, Devin. Yeah, I stay posting clips and videos and things of that nature, man. But I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt, my brother. All right, man. Peace, man.
Yo, go 49ers. We about to kick Dallas's ass. I hope so. All right, peace, man.
All right, peace, yeah.